Me tell you what just happened in Connecticut. Documented on security camera. Bridgeport, Connecticut. A Wednesday morning, Gala Food Supermarket on East Main Street. A man walks in, gets to the checkout, and hands the cashier a $100 bill for a small purchase. That's the cover. He knows the cashier has to turn around, open the register, count out change. That's his window. While her back is turned, he pulls out a paper-thin metal strip about the size of a credit card and moves to slide it into the chip reader at the checkout terminal. He never got to install it. The cashier turned back around a second too early, spotted him, and he ran out on foot. But this is what makes this story important. What she caught him with, that thin strip, is a new kind of skimmer most Americans have never seen and don't know to look for. I'm Boyd Clewis. I've spent 15 years in payment security. Today, I'm walking you through exactly what that device does, why the grocery store is where you're most exposed, and the one thing you can feel with your fingertips that stops it cold. But here's what should really concern you. The man in Connecticut got caught. The ones who don't get caught leave the device inside the reader for days at a time. And what it's doing during those days is what nobody sees coming. So let's talk about what this device actually is. Because if you learned about skimmers over the last decade, everything you learned applies to something else. Here's how the Better Business Bureau described this new device on camera.
Oftentimes, we hear about incidents at gas stations or ATMs where an attendant wouldn't necessarily be looking at the device. They're not near the terminal.
Kristen Johnson with the Better Business Bureau says scammers are getting even more savvy. There's a new threat to look out for that's even harder to spot: shimming.
With shimming, they actually put the device that's going to capture your personal information on a metal strip that's really the size of a credit card, and it's paper thin. It goes inside and it can capture information off of a chip reader, whereas typically skimming cannot do that.
That's the part every American needs to hear. This is not the skimmer you were told to watch for. The old skimmers you were told to watch for at gas pumps and outdoor ATMs were bulky. They snapped over the top of the real card slot. If you tugged at the reader, they moved. Some had a slightly different color or a poorly fitted seam. You were told to inspect the reader before inserting your card. That advice does nothing for this new device because this one doesn't go on top, it goes inside. Once it's in there, it lies flat against the internal contacts of the reader. From the outside, the slot looks completely normal. You cannot see this device with your eyes. The cashier cannot see it, the store manager cannot see it. And unlike the old overlay skimmers, this one pulls the data directly off your card's chip while your chip is being read for the payment. The chip was supposed to be the fix. That chip was supposed to protect you from exactly what this device now does. That's not a coincidence. That's the criminals adapting. So why grocery stores? Because the grocery store is the perfect crime scene. Foot traffic is constant. Nobody looks twice at a stranger at a checkout. The lines are long and people are in a hurry to get out. And most grocery stores now have self-checkout lanes where nobody is watching the terminals at all. A criminal can walk up, pretend to scan an item, slide a device into the reader in 3 seconds, and walk out. That device might sit there for a full day, or 2 or 3, quietly pulling data from every card that gets inserted. Every person who used that reader while the device was in there is now compromised. And most of them don't know it yet. They'll find out when the first strange charge hits their statement 2 weeks later. So if you can't see this thing with your eyes, how are you supposed to protect yourself at the checkout? There is one thing, and it's something you can feel. And the Better Business Bureau confirmed exactly what that feeling is.
Johnson says the biggest red flag with shimming is if your card feels tight inside the machine. But stores are doing their best to stay on top of security.
I can say personally that, and you've probably seen it too, when you go to stores, sometimes they'll have a strip with that store's logo on it to prevent people from being able to do this. There are certainly devices out there and there are means for stores to prevent this.
That's the whole tell. If your card feels tight going in, if it feels stiff or like it's catching or scraping on something inside the slot, stop. Pull the card out. Don't complete the transaction. That resistance you're feeling is the hidden strip. A real empty chip reader slot lets your card slide in and out smoothly every single time. If today it feels different than it did yesterday, that's the tell. Trust your fingertips. At self-checkout, do one more thing. Look at the slot before you insert. If the opening looks even slightly off or the plastic around it looks disturbed, move to another terminal. Better yet, use a lane with a live cashier standing there. Criminals rarely install these devices at manned lanes because the staff is right there watching. That's the whole protection at the point of sale. One physical feeling, 1 extra second at the slot. Now let's say the worst happens. You didn't notice the feel. The device pulled your data. 2 weeks later, you see a charge for $800 at a store you've never been to. You'd assume your bank just refunds it. Here's why they might not. Because your chip was physically read. That's the loophole. When someone runs a stolen card at a store using the physical chip data, that transaction gets categorized by the banks as an authorized chip transaction. On paper, it looks the same as a purchase you made yourself. The banks, Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, all of them have policies that allow them to deny refunds on transactions that appear authorized this way. Not every case gets denied. Some victims fight and win, but documented consumer reports show many people never see that money back. The bank tells them the chip was read, so as far as their system is concerned, the transaction was legitimate. It gets classified as a purchase dispute instead of fraud, and those two categories have completely different refund rules. Let me be clear. This is not a bug in the system. This is how the system was written. The chip technology was designed to protect the bank's liability. It was never designed to protect yours. That's not a conspiracy. That's the fine print on your card agreement. Real quick before I give you the takeaway that pulls this all together. The reason I'm able to break down scams like this every week is because I built a complete protection system for people who don't want to watch every single video. It's called the Senior Scam Survival Pack. It's a printable kit built around the FBI's top 10 scams targeting seniors right now, including this one. Inside you get 10 scam defense cards, the family safe word setup template, a printable wallet card with 5 universal warning signs, and a step-by-step lockdown guide for your bank and your social security account. The regular price is $47. As a thank you for watching this channel, I'm letting you grab it today for just $7. The link is in the description. Print it, share it with one person you love. That alone could save somebody you know thousands of dollars this month. Now back to what pulls this all together. So put it all together. The device is new, it's invisible from the outside, it's small enough to install in 3 seconds at a self-checkout. And once your data is pulled, the very technology that was sold to you as protection becomes the reason your bank may not refund you. The only real defense sits in your fingertips at the moment of the transaction. If the card feels tight going in, pull it out, move to another lane. And if you take one habit away from this video, let it be this. Every time you check out at the grocery store from now on, slow down for that 1 second at the slot. Feel the insert. That single second protects everything in your account. And this same crew of criminals has a contactless version, and even the Better Business Bureau is now warning about it.
But now we're hearing cases of ghost tapping, where in crowded situations, scammers are able to use technology to tap your phone and you don't even realize it. So unfortunately, scammers seem to always be one step ahead.
They call it ghost tapping. It's the tap to pay side of the same playbook, and I broke down exactly how it works and the one rule that shuts it down in another video. YouTube will put it right on your screen for you.